Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are shelving the dense geopolitical reports for a bit.
Yeah, just for today.
And instead, we're plunging headfirst into probably the highest stakes, most morally flexible arena on television.
Yeah.
The world of Bold and the Beautiful.
Definitely morally flexible.
We have this really dense stack of source material. It covers the 2 weeks from October 27th right through November 7th.
Mm-hmm.
And look, this isn't just about, who's kissing who. This is about narrative physics. Seriously.
Yeah, narrative physics, I like that.
The sheer speed and, frankly, the emotional recklessness in these spoilers. It makes the daily news cycle look positively sedate.
It really is a masterclass in controlled chaos, isn't it? And our mission today, well, it goes beyond just reading spoilers out loud for you.
Right.
This deep dive is about dissecting the underlying mechanism. This specific genre of drama. We're looking at the pace for sure, but maybe more importantly, we're defining this theme of impossible redemption.
Impossible is the key word there.
Totally. And analyzing how quickly and just how frequently the writers are willing to make these fundamental moral and legal lines totally irrelevant, just gone.
Yeah, just poof.
Simply to shuffle the deck for November sweeps. It's pretty blatant.
Oh, yeah. The sources reveal just a staggering level of plot acceleration. I mean, we are talking about severe criminal actions being basically washed away. While at the same time, characters are getting engaged, breaking up, planning new weddings, all within a 48-hour window sometimes. It's dizzying.
Precisely. And the core dynamic, the thing fueling these 2 weeks, it's this violent collision between two narrative streams. It's fascinating.
Okay, what are they?
So on one side, you've got these extreme rapid-fire relationship reversals.
Yeah.
Aimed at creating instant stability, locking couples down fast.
Right, like the Hope and Liam thing we'll get to.
Exactly. And then on the other side, colliding right into that, is the return of villains whose past actions, really should have guaranteed permanent narrative death, gone forever.
Should have, yeah. But this is B&B.
Right. But instead, they're being given second chances. So the stakes for Forrester Creations, and honestly for the moral compass of the entire show, they've never been higher. Or maybe lower, depending on how you look at it.
Huh. Fair point. Okay, let's unpack this. Starting with the commitment reversal that I think broke the sound barrier. Hope Logan and Liam Spencer.
Whirlwind. It's almost too slow a word. It's more like a jet engine firing up,
Yeah, seriously. So we start the week of October 27th. The vibe is all success and hope, right? It's driven by the Hope for the Future line, the HFTF relaunch.
And, in this B&B universe, sustained happiness is basically the biggest warning sign. Flashing red lights, drama incoming.
Always. So Monday, October 27th, Hope and her mom, Brooke, are described as absolutely delighted about this relaunch.
Right.
And we need to stress the professional context here. This isn't just Hope's little pet project. Her brother, D. Sharp, is doing the actual designs for the line.
That's a key detail.
Yeah, it symbolizes this successful family and corporate collaboration. It creates this moment of emotional warmth, professional stability. It's all good.
And that stability, that little bubble of good, it provides the perfect soft landing for Liam Spencer to make his move. Of course.
Naturally.
The source tells us Liam takes this successful moment, this high point, to express how he truly feels. And he does this while they're enjoying time with their daughter, Beth Spencer.
Oh, classic B&B setup. The family unit, the successful career moment, and then bam, sudden dramatic declaration.
Textbook.
And Liam, well, he's always been the master of these quick reversals, hasn't he? He doesn't waste a second. He actually acknowledges putting Hope through a lot over the years.
Which is the understatement of the century.
Right. We have to pause here. The profound irony of that statement, considering decades of flip-flopping, betrayals, just general indecision that defines Liam.
It's his entire character arc, basically, or lack thereof.
And then, boom, he proposes.
And not just any proposal either. We're talking the full cinematic experience here. A big ring in a box. The whole request to put their family back together. But the detail, the one that truly captures the soap opera mechanism, for me, it's Hope's reaction.
Oh, yeah. Tell us.
She's in tears, right? But she has just taken off Carter's engagement ring. The sources emphasize just...
Here moments before, probably.
Exactly. And she even acknowledges how fast this is. She says it out loud. But then, in the next breath, confirms she will say yes.
Wow. That speed is just It's astonishing. It's almost defensive writing, you know? It's like the Jamaica's practically winking at us saying, yeah, we know this is way too fast, but hey, we need the chessboard cleared now.
Exactly. The speed isn't a bug, it's a feature. That's the key takeaway here. The narrative function of a relationship stabilizing this rapidly, what we call plot acceleration, it immediately frees up the supporting characters.
Okay. Makes sense.
Hope and Liam are parked, right? Locked in. Which allows Carter Walton, who, let's be honest, has been orbiting Hope for way too long.
Way too long. Poor Carter.
Poor Carter. It allows him to become fully emotionally available for Daphne. And maybe even more importantly, it leaves Taylor Hayes completely unmoored, just floating adrift.
Ripe for scandal.
Totally ripe for the scandal we're about to dive into.
And the momentum, it just doesn't slow down. By Tuesday, October 28th, they're already going public.
Already, yeah.
Yeah. They make their big announcements to the core family unit, Brooke, Katie, Donna, the Logan sisters, and of course they have to break the news to little Beth.
Ah, Beth. Hope she takes it okay.
Well, the sources confirm that everyone is just thrilled, capital T, thrilled.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
The unanimous family celebration, that's key. It totally validates the decision, at least within the context of the show.
Right. If the Logans are happy, it must be right.
Exactly. When all the Logans are thrilled, the audience is basically meant to accept this as the right path, you know? And this public commitment happening just before the official kickoff of November sweeps on October 30th, well, it implies a very clear trajectory.
Oh, what?
The sources strongly hint at a potential sweeps wedding. Yeah, They really can't afford to let this commitment just simmer. They have to capitalize on it instantly. Maximum drama value.
So, okay, if we're looking at this Lope relationship purely in narrative terms, the speed exists basically to generate drama somewhere else.
Precisely.
Lobe becomes this like foundation of temporary stability just so they can unleash maximum chaos surrounding the other characters.
Absolutely. The moment one couple finds even a sliver of equilibrium, the imbalance has to be compensated for, like immediately, with extreme instability in like 3 other corners of the narrative map.
It's B&B math.
It is. It's B&B math, and it leads us directly, inevitably, into a situation where professionalism is about to be utterly, completely destroyed.
Okay, let's pivot then to the Deacon Sharp, Taylor Hayes, and Sheila Carter triangle. Now, this is a fascinating collision. We've got therapy, family loyalty, forbidden romance, and the lines are blurring faster than Taylor's professional license can probably handle.
Oh, definitely faster. And it begins, interestingly, with intense pressure from family, from Deacon's kids.
Right. On Wednesday, October 29th, Deacon's children, Dee and remember Dee's designing for Hope's line?
Yep. Connects back.
They stage an intervention. They're united. They have a demand.
Okay, what's the demand?
Well, they already know their dad is trying to keep his distance from Sheila, his stepmom, but apparently that's not good enough.
Not enough distance.
They want total erasure. Their goal is to push Deacon to formalize the estrangement. They're urging him, get divorced, remove Sheila entirely, completely from his life. This is really about protecting the Logan Sharp family name, from the inevitable fallout of being associated with Sheila Carter.
Yeah, that's understandable. The weight of that expectation, though, the demand for absolute loyalty from his own children, it must be immense.
Huge pressure.
It forces Deacon into this very specific emotional state, right? He's vulnerable, he's pulled between the family he loves and, well, the woman he somehow ended up married to.
Somehow is right.
And this vulnerability, this exact state, it's what leads him right into Taylor's orbit with disastrous professional consequences looming.
Okay, so we hit the Sweeks kickoff Thursday, October 30th.
Right.
And boom, the narrative boundaries just dissolve completely. Taylor Hayes, the high-profile psychiatrist, she's struggling.
Big time.
She literally cannot set more clinical and appropriate professional boundaries with Deacon because, and the source confirms this directly, they are crossing lines.
And here's where the analysis, needs to be really sharp. This isn't just like a friendly boundary crossing, oops, shared too much. No.
No, not at all.
For a professional of Taylor's standing, a psychiatrist, a world-renowned figure, right? A longtime matriarch of the Forrester family, engaging romantically or even just intimately with a current client.
Especially this client.
Who's connected to the entire family's arch nemesis, Sheila. It is absolute career suicide, like no question. So what does the show sacrifice by pushing Taylor into this situation just for some quick drama?
That is a crucial point. It sacrifices her entire professional credibility, which honestly until now has kind of defined her as this moral anchor, maybe a slightly wobbly one sometimes, but still an anchor in the Forrester universe.
Exactly. For whole identity, really.
But the description of the intimate scene they share, it's just pure, immediate tension. Deacon challenges her directly. He asks her why she can't let go of Ridge, finally, and chase some new happiness.
Hitting her right where she's vulnerable.
Totally. And the physical description, it just confirms the narrative intent loud and clear. Taylor is all teared up, showing that emotional vulnerability. And Deacon is all up close on her, wiping her tears away.
Ooh, yeah. That's crossing a line.
They are described as being so close they look like they are about to lock lips. Even if the actual kiss doesn't happen right then, in that moment the boundary is just annihilated, gone.
Completely. And Taylor's internal conflict is supposedly about whether she needs to reset those boundaries, pull back.
Right, the professional thing to do.
But the sources strongly suggest she might be really into him, like genuinely falling for him. Which means we are watching a character potentially torch their entire professional life for what might just be an emotionally convenient rebound relationship.
Wow. It's the ultimate high-risk move, isn't it? And we know exactly who is probably watching or about to find out.
Oh, yeah. As Deacon and Taylor are getting all cozy and teary-eyed, Sheila is spiraling.
Of course she is.
She is desperately trying to salvage their marriage, right? So she goes searching for Deacon. And the speculation is immediate and obvious. She might follow him straight to Taylor's office.
And potentially get an eyeball of their forbidden intimacy.
Exactly. Which sets up this classic Swoops confrontation where Sheila Carter, the villain, will suddenly, ironically, have the moral high ground concerning boundary violations.
Irony is just dripping. And Sheila's already spreading information, right? We know she tells someone that Deacon has been having therapy sessions with Taylor.
Yep. She's basically laying the groundwork, planting the seeds for Taylor's professional destruction, casually dropping that little nugget.
And that someone, she tells, it's Lee Finnegan.
Correct. Who we know is returning, played by Naomi Matsuda. She has scenes on Monday and Thursday of that week.
Okay, Lee's back. What's the dynamic there? Lee and Sheila.
Well, it's morbidly fascinating, honestly. They are apparently engaging in some kind of grandma bonding.
Grandma bonding. Between Lee and Sheila.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Finding common ground as, arguably the two most notoriously villainous mothers/grandmothers in the entire B&B universe, Lee's maybe one of the few people who will even give Sheila the time of day.
Okay, that's weirdly compelling. But their conversation takes a crucial turn, doesn't it? It focuses on Luna Nozawa.
Yes. And this provides a key linkage back to our main theme today, impossible redemption.
Right. So they talk about Luna.
Yeah, and specifically, we need to provide context here for you, the listener.
Yeah.
They discuss the alleged prison attack on Luna. Remember that?
Vaguely, yeah. It was weird.
Well, the sources now confirm this was a ruse, a complete setup, orchestrated by Luna herself before Bill Spencer magically secured her pardon.
Wait, Luna faked her own attack?
That's what the sources say, which means Luna's actions were calculated, cold-blooded. They involved severe psychological manipulation and what the source previously referred to as molesting will, that forced intimacy situation. It was a massive conscious violation, not just a desperate breakout attempt.
Wow. Okay, that changes things. So how do Lee and Sheila react to that?
Well, the contrast in judgment is really telling. Lee Finnegan, who, despite her own family drama, is generally a more, let's say, morally functional character, she maintains a very dim opinion of Luna, understandably, for the breakout, the manipulation, the crime against will.
Okay, that makes sense for Lee.
But Sheila, the arch-villain, the one who shot her own son and daughter-in-law, she seems almost proud of Luna, or at least far less judgmental than Lee is, like maybe a flicker of respect there.
Sheila respects Luna's cold-blooded move. That's chilling.
It's a critical narrative signal, isn't it? When Sheila Carter, who is basically the benchmark for unforgivable evil on this show, sees a character like Luna and gives her a sort of nod, it confirms that Luna's crime was substantial. It was calculated, high on the scale of narrative violations.
And it also confirms
that the path to redemption, or at the least acceptance, is wide open in B&B land. Because if Luna, who committed this cold-blooded line violation, can be pardoned and just waltz back into society and Forrester creation.
And the door is swinging wide for the next character.
Exactly. The next character with, as the sources put it, zero redeeming qualities. Remy Price.
Okay, so if Sheila represents that sort of historical, physical evil, right? And Luna represents the cold-blooded, manipulative kind. Remy Price feels like the third, maybe most modern type of villain.
The psychological tormentor, yeah.
And he feels like the true test, maybe the ultimate test of this impossible redemption theme we're tracking.
Absolutely. Remy is the core figure we really have to analyze to understand how B&B just resets consequences. And we have to start by defining the gravity of his original crime, because it's contemporary, it's digital, and it's deeply violating.
Okay, lay it out. What did Remy do again?
So Remy originally came to Los Angeles specifically because he was obsessively stalking Electra Forrester. He followed her across the country simply because she didn't want him. That's the foundation. Stalking. Obsession.
Right, already bad.
But the escalation is what really should have been the point of no return. When Electra continued to refuse him, Remy committed a very modern crime of digital humiliation and violation.
The photos.
Exactly. He posted her face onto risque photos, presumably fakes, deep-faked maybe, and released them all over social media. The sources say she was left devastated and humiliated.
God, that's awful. That's psychological and reputation destruction. And it's the kind of crime that lives forever online, too.
Precisely. It's not like a punch you can heal from easily.
Right.
And then it culminated violently. Remember that?
Vaguely. On a roof.
Yeah. There was a struggle on top of a building. Electra was close to falling to her death. She was only saved because Will Spencer intervened.
Right. Will saved her.
So Remy went to jail for all this. And honestly, every fan watching assumed that was it. Definitive exit. Doors sealed shut on that storyline because the actions were just so severe, so irredeemable.
It would think so. It feels irredeemable.
But the logic of B&B, as we've established, dictates that no door ever stays sealed if the narrative needs a jolt of instant chaos. And so now, Remy is back.
And the setup for his return is just, it's brilliant in its sheer absurdity.
Isn't it? He is Deke Sharp's new love interest.
Deke Sharp's, Hope's brother, the new designer.
The very same. They are living together. So this connection, dating a Forrester designer, Hope's brother no less, is basically his golden ticket right back into the very building, the very company where he traumatized his victim.
Unbelievable. And there's secrecy involved?
Ah, yes. Here's the key narrative device, the ticking time bomb. Remy specifically requested that Deke never disclose his name while Deke is working at Forrester Creations.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So Deke's just, my boyfriend this, my boyfriend that. Deacon and others, they know Deke is happy he's involved with someone. But they don't know the partner's name is Remy Price, the convicted stalker who terrorized Electra Forrester.
So the writers are just using the simple withholding of a name to generate this massive delayed conflict.
Classic soap opera move.
Yeah.
And the fuse runs out spectacularly on Friday, October 31st. Halloween, no less.
Perfect timing. What happens?
Remy, despite the explicit warnings Deke must have given him, despite the obvious glaring risk,
Well,
he decides to visit Deke at work. At FC?
no. Why would he do that?
Because drama. Because sweeps. Deke, who is completely blissfully unaware of the historical baggage or the sheer severity of Remy's past crimes. He's apparently ready to introduce his new boyfriend to his family and coworkers. He's excited, eager for acceptance.
Oh, Deke, poor guy. Where does this happen?
The setting is the main Forrester Creations showroom, the heart of the company.
Maximum exposure.
Maximum. And the resulting detonation is just pure Sweeks drama gold. Dee walks into the showroom. And who's there? Hope, Ivy, Daphne, and Electra.
Electra's there. Oh, my
A
God.
full house of potential witnesses and, crucially, his victim. G has absolutely no idea what volcano is about to erupt.
What's the reaction?
It's visceral, immediate.
Yeah.
Ivy apparently gasped, but Electra's reaction, that's the one that matters most. She's described as furious, yelling out Remy's name and showing a look of pure horror.
Horror. Yeah, I bet. This isn't just surprise. This is trauma physically revisiting her inner professional sanctuary, her safe space.
Exactly. So let's try to rigorously define this impossible redemption paradigm now, using Remy as the freshest, maybe most blatant example.
Right.
We've established B&B treats serious felonies like minor hurdles. But what makes this specific framework actually work within the show's logic? How do they pull it off?
Okay, yeah. What's the template?
Well, it seems to rely on a three-part template, roughly. First, the character has to commit an action that, in the real world would be pretty much universally unforgivable. Stalking, digital harassment, murder attempts, cold-blooded manipulation of a vulnerable person.
Check. Remy did that.
Check. Second, there has to be a weak, usually self-serving, often completely unrelated justification offered for the crime.
Okay. We'll see what Remy says.
And third, crucially, This justification has to be immediately accepted by a naive romantic partner, usually the new love interest. And that partner then grants the immediate narrative reward: love, a job, acceptance back into the fold.
Wow. Okay, let's apply that. If we compare the established villains, Sheila, murderous reign, #1 enemy, how did she get redemption?
Through a quick marriage to Deacon, basically. He accepted her, despite everything, giving her legitimacy.
Okay. Luna, cold-blooded manipulation of will, faking her attack.
Redemption came via a pardon from Bill Spencer, magically wiping the slate clean, and immediate corporate integration at Forrester. Accepted by RJ, welcomed into the design fold.
Okay, so the template fits.
And now, Remy Price committed a deeply personal digital and physical stalking crime against Elektra. He's lined up perfectly. If the show has managed to redeem a murderous villain like Sheila and a cold-blooded manipulator like Luna, then the narrative logic is, unfortunately, ironclad.
Remy Price is next up.
He's next. The show is actively, almost aggressively, challenging the audience to accept the forgiveness of a villain who possesses, according to our sources, 0 redeeming qualities. And his crimes, because they're modern digital harassment, stalking, they feel really current, really visceral, which makes the redemption attempt feel all the more, well, absurd.
And this willingness, this need maybe to narratively excuse crimes of this magnitude,
Yeah.
that's what keeps the engine churning, isn't it?
Absolutely. If consequences were real, if they stuck, the show would probably run out of dramatic material in a single sweeps period. They need the reset button.
Okay, so moving into the first full week of November now. The fallout from Remy's showroom appearance. It's got to be focused intensely on Elektra and Deke, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. The introduction of Remy isn't just some passing plot point. It's described as a seismic event for the Forrester family, especially for Elektra.
Yeah, the sources say this is a very bad week for Elektra. She's reeling. I mean, finding out that Hope for the Future's new designer, her colleague, her maybe friend Hope's brother's boyfriend, is the man who stalked her, who terrorized her.
Yeah. Her trauma has now literally invaded her professional life at the highest possible level. There's no escape.
And it's compounded, apparently, because her 2 worst nightmares are now back in her life simultaneously. Remy, the stalker.
And Luna Nozawa, the cold-blooded manipulator who victimized her husband, Will. Remember, Will saved Elektra from Remy.
Oh, right. So for Elektra, the show is signaling this severe period of sustained psychological crisis. It's awful for her.
It is. We are told, thankfully, that Will and Elektra remain strong and united through this, which, provides that necessary counterbalance. A solid relationship that contrasts with all the instability swirling around them.
Thank goodness for that, at least. But the real emotional dilemma, the core of this immediate fallout, has to lie with Deke Sharp.
Exactly. He finds out the truth. The whole ugly truth about what Remy did to Elektra. And the source suggests he will be absolutely devastated.
Yes, he should be.
Right. This is the moment Deke's character integrity is truly put to the test.
So, does he pass the test? This brings us back to that crucial second step of your redemption template, the weak justification.
Precisely. Will Deke make this heinous past, this history of stalking and terror, a deal breaker? Or will he excuse it based on the frankly terrible logic that the sources provide?
Okay, what is the justification Remy offers? Can the audience, can Deke really buy this?
Get ready for it. Remy apparently tried to justify his past actions stalking Elektra, posting fake photos to Luna, of all people.
He confided in Luna. Interesting.
Yeah, and his excuse was that it was just something he did because he was in the closet.
Wait, what? That's his excuse. I stalked and humiliated a woman because I was struggling with my sexuality.
That's what the source indicates. And the source itself rightly notes this is a terrible explanation.
Terrible is an understatement. It completely minimizes severe stalking, digital humiliation, violent confrontation, blaming it on his own internal struggles. That doesn't excuse victimizing someone else.
Not even slightly.
Yeah.
And this is where, you just have to push back on the sheer absurdity. If Deke accepts this, if he buys this line, he becomes instantly compromised as a character.
Totally. Accepting that a history of stalking and public humiliation is somehow excusable because the perpetrator was conflicted about their identity, that's a massive moral leap.
It's a leap that honestly only works in the heightened, often nonsensical reality of a soap opera that is desperately trying to achieve this impossible redemption narrative arc.
So what's the prediction? Will Deke buy it?
Sadly, it seems highly probable. Blinded by new love, maybe feeling protective, and definitely driven by the show's need to keep a central sweeps character integrated into the plot, Deke will likely find some way to forgive Remy, or at least try to understand.
Ugh. Okay. But surely there have to be professional consequences for Remy at Forrester.
Ah, yes. That's likely non-negotiable.
Yeah.
While Deke might forgive privately, Forrester Creations has to protect Elektra. They can't just let this slide.
Right. HR nightmare aside, it's just basic decency.
Exactly. The speculation is strong that Remy will be banned entirely from the premises. You simply cannot have a convicted, apparently unrepentant digital stalker just wandering the showroom floor while his victim is trying to work there.
Even B&B can't stretch reality that far, hopefully.
Hopefully. So this will likely force Deke into a classic dilemma. Choose between his career at Forrester and his new problematic love.
Okay, so while that drama is boiling over, what about the other romantic trajectories? They're accelerating rapidly too, right? First week of November.
Oh, yeah. Things are moving fast elsewhere, too. Taylor's struggle is intensifying. She is fighting, or maybe not fighting hard enough, her unprofessional feelings for Deacon.
The therapist and the client, still happening.
Still happening. She doesn't just risk her career anymore. She's risking the respect of her entire family, especially Steffi and Ridge, if they find out. The indication that she may be falling hard for him, it suggests that the forbidden element, the sheer risk of destruction, might actually be what makes this relationship so dramatically appealing to her.
Like, at a subconscious level. A final, monumental rebound against the endless toxicity of Ridge.
Possibly. It's a compelling theory. Destroying her professional self to escape her personal history.
Wow. Okay, who else? Carter. What's happening with Carter now that Hope's engaged?
Ah, Carter. The narrative reward for the Lope engagement is playing out perfectly for him. Carter and Daphne are growing much closer.
Good for them.
Carter is now described as all in, confirming his full emotional availability now that Hope has definitively moved on with Liam. He's free.
Finally. Carter's arguably the most stable, decent guy on the show. He's been waiting forever for a solid relationship.
He really has. And this rapid pairing with Daphne, who seems like a good match, is the clear reward for his loyalty and patience. The sources even suggest they may hit the sheets soon.
Ooh la la la.
Yeah. So a new, stable, attractive couple is being forged instantly, to fill the void left by Hope's departure from Carter's orbit. Balance restored, sort of.
Okay. And finally, back to the instigators of some of this. Hope and Liam, they only just got engaged. Are they really planning already?
Oh, yes. They're already planning their wedding, wasting no time. And the sources ask the crucial question. Will it be a big wedding or a quickie in the CEO office?
Given B&B history and the need for sweeps drama, what's your prediction?
Quickie. Definitely the quickie in the CEO office. If you wait 6 months for a big wedding on this show, guaranteed a new long-lost relative will appear out of nowhere, one of them will develop sudden amnesia, or Sheila will escape again and crash the ceremony.
True. Capitalize on happiness immediately before disaster inevitably strikes.
Exactly. The pace dictates action. They need to get married now, probably, so the relationship can immediately be tested by all the chaos swirling around them. Remy's return, the Taylor Deacon professional meltdown, whatever Sheila does next.
Yeah.
The marriage becomes the new source of tension. #outro. So it's fascinating here, when you really break it down, is how the B&B narrative operates. It's like this complete microcosm of extreme forgiveness and narrative expediency.
Yeah, expediency is a good word for it.
Really is a world where severe past felonies, we're talking stalking, digital humiliation, cold-blooded crimes, attempted murder, they're consistently treated as just minor hurdles, little bumps in the road on the path to romance or, corporate acceptance.
Right. Sorry, tried to kill you, ruin your life, want to grab dinner.
Pretty much. And this continuous resetting of moral consequence, which is usually facilitated by these really weak excuses and these rapid romantic rewards, that is the engine. That's what guarantees the constant high-stakes drama. It has to work that way.
And understanding this rapid narrative restructuring, this, as you called it, soap opera logic, it's kind of essential, isn't it? It's really a shortcut to grasping how quickly deep trauma, like Elektra's experience with Remy, can just be reframed by the writers. Suddenly, it's an opportunity for redemption, even when the character fundamentally possesses, as the source bluntly states, zero redeeming qualities.
Exactly. The show is basically daring us, the audience, to believe that deep, unforgivable psychological damage can just be swept away, poof, simply because a character gets a new love interest or offers up a flimsy excuse.
It really forces us to examine our own desire for resolution, doesn't it? Why do we as an audience kind of crave that redemption arc, even when it's utterly nonsensical, even when it requires sacrificing the logic and the history of the characters involved?
That's a great point. The show feeds that need, that desire for second chances, even if it has to, destroy Taylor's entire career or completely undermine Deke's morality just to achieve it. The redemption arc trumps character consistency.
And that leaves us with our final provocative thought for you, the listener, to maybe mull over. In a narrative world like this one that grants immediate, often completely undeserved redemption to characters who have crossed major moral and legal lines, from Sheila and Luna to now, potentially, Remy Price, what impact does that sheer speed, that instant forgiveness, have on the actual meaning of true consequences? Or real forgiveness?
Yeah, does forgiveness lose all value? Does it become meaningless if it's just treated as like a mandated plot point, something necessary just to drive the next week's romance or the next shocking confrontation?
Something to definitely consider as you watch the explosive return of chaos to Forrester Creations this sweeps season.
That's gonna be wild.
We dove deep into the drama, the breakneck pace, and the truly impossible redemption of the Forrester Logan universe. Thank you for joining us on the deep dive.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll catch you next time.